Hi, I'm Al, and this is One Healthy Heart. Now, this is what I actually sound like, and just to go ahead and get it out the way, I went ahead and I really wanted to talk about my health journey personally as a whole, rather than just telling you what you should and can do, right? So, me personally, I went ahead and I looked at my hair. My hair was to me as it was a project. I really do like my hair. I tried to take care of it as much as possible, and I really had to go back and forth with really worked for me, right? So that's learning how to comb it properly, right? Oh, that's me learning how to eat properly. That's me learning how not to damage it properly, right? And what to do. So let's get started on that. So our three topics for today are going to be eating, showering, and we'll call it maintenance, right? So let's start with eating, right? Now everybody's different, and just for the record, I am not licensed in any way. This is just me and my experience showing you and maybe giving you something to learn off of. Now, eating. I haven't been eating a lot. I haven't been really eating well as a child, and hunger cues were ignored. They were ignored as a child, and now into my adult years, with some, a little help from self awareness, I am now eating more. So I would have to force myself to eat more, right? And just to give you clarification, before I would probably eat a meal and maybe a healthy snack a day. So that's like one meal a day, one healthy, maybe non-healthy snack a day. And that's not really good when I'm trying to grow my hair and I'm just putting a whole bunch of products into it, hoping for the best, right? So make sure you're eating enough well, right? So you have to go ahead and look at the foods in my previous videos and just pick from those foods that you like and begin eating and try to eat more, because me personally, I wasn't eating enough. So what I would do is I would look at my house and think about all the places to where I am the most, and I would go ahead and I would try to put sort of a healthy snack there, right? Because I can't sit here and be um, well, just be honest, saying that I have not completely, even now to this day, I have not completely stopped eating junk food because it's hard, but I am doing it more or less than usual. So I would go ahead and place healthy snacks around the places to where I am the most, because in my head, I figure like sometimes I'm lazy. I don't want to get up. I am hungry. If something's right in front of me, I'll eat it. Right. So again, with the hungry cues, since me being able to ignore the food, I have no desire for food, right? And people might look at that and be like, "Hey, like I eat a lot all the time, and my hair doesn't grow." Trying to make a joke out of it, but they might be true. But also, you got to look at what things that you're missing, right? So, me personally, I went to the doctor and I would do a test and figure out what am I missing. And I realized that I was missing biotin. I was very, I didn't have a lot of biotin, really. So I would go ahead and go to the store and look up, hair, nails, and some other thing. But I've been taking vitamin gummies every day. And I also been forcing myself to eat. Now, with just that alone, my hair has been growing back thicker and longer. But before, it's growing at that rate, but the hair also kept falling out, right? So you have to go ahead and look at what makes your hair healthy. We solved the problem, right, of what we're missing and what could help. We solved that problem. So my problem was that my hair is not growing as thick and as long as I want it to be. I fixed that problem with again biotin and eating more. Not just eating more, eating more healthier. So I went ahead and I started on that. Now let's go ahead and get into showering. How to keep your hair healthy. Now, a lot of people are using shampoo, some every day. And people can make the argument of, yes, I sweat a lot, but I'll give you a solution to that in a minute. But to explain, you're sweating a lot throughout the day and you're taking all your natural moisture from your hair that's made to help your hair grow and be more healthy, and you're just kind of washing it away because that shampoo, you look at some shampoos, whatever, they'll tell you that it will wipe all the gunk off, and sometimes that gunk that's involved is your actual hair moisture that actually helps you grow, that actually helps your hair grow, right? So you're kind of like washing everything out, right? Conditioning is not as bad, but if you don't use a leave-in conditioner and just use a conditioner that pairs with the shampoo, then again, you are double timing stripping everything away. Me personally, I went ahead and I shampoo and conditioner once a month. And to give you my results, right? My hair is about to the start of my back. So it's like, beneath my shoulder and down to my back. So overall, previously, my hair would be only towards mm, around where my eyes lay, or even shorter, which wasn't cutting it for me. So I had to go ahead and start this YouTube channel. Now, when it comes to washing your hair, a solution is again just use water. Just use water. I know, like, it may not be enough for some people, so it's definitely not enough for me. I would wash my hair with aloe vera, right? That helps. It washes enough of the gunk out. It washes enough of the dirt out to go ahead and make me feel clean while also leaving in my hair oils that actually help me grow my hair to the length that I want it to be. Now, with that being said, if you look at social influencers, right? There are some of them will tell you like, "Hey, I haven't washed my hair in 3 months, 2 weeks, like they haven't washed their hair in quite a bit, and that helps." And I thought, like many people, that's like, ew, that's kind of nasty, right? But like, I want what I want. You have to go ahead and sacrifice some things, and to really help you think about it, people who have longer hairs and older generations, when they weren't, cleaning themselves as much, have longer hair. They have longer hair. It's not as thick as people see it today because we have materials and resources to help it grow thicker. But like overall, like people had pretty long hair, and that's because they weren't washing as frequently. So with that being said, try not to go ahead and use shampoo and conditioner too often to where it's not providing the moisture for your hair to grow. Now, when you come out the shower, I would find the best thing to do is to have a leave-in conditioner. This will go ahead and leave it soft. It won't what's the word, dry out, right? Because as soon as you come out the shower, aloe vera and just water, like I said, will leave your hair dried out. Dried out to the point to where it could start split ends, or your hair might just start breaking off in general. Right? So you want to moisturize. Moisturize every time that you get out the shower and you do wash your head. Even if you're not washing your head, moisturize. Moisturize, 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 because especially around this time of year when it gets colder, your hair is going to start to dry up. So that's kind of the best thing to do right now. Even in the summer, it still doesn't make a difference. Always try your best to moisturize. Another thing too is that you have to go ahead and either pick, comb, brush out your hair, and don't brush out your hair again while it's dry. Brush it out as you're moisturizing it, so that way the friction of the brush does not tear out your hair, right? Because that's gonna also leave split ends. And I know you're thinking, oh my god, all these things are giving my hair split ends. Like, yeah, our hair is quite fragile. And just to give another tip, scratching your head. Scratching your head can also give friction and give you split ends and also tear out your head. And to clarify that even more, is that we all scratched ourselves to a point to where, we shed blood. We scratch our head, we scratch our arm, and we just scratch each other, right? So basically, if you're scratching your head with that much force, because an itch is an itch, right? We really want to get into there, so we go ahead and we scratch, and that's us tearing out our own hair. So that's what that is. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into the maintenance part of it. The maintenance part of it is that you have to go ahead and know what you have in front of you, or know what you're laying on, to make more sense, right? So people, if you know, you need to have a bonnet. You need to have something that covers your head, so that way, as you're tossing and turning at night, you're pulling on your head, and that's also creating friction. And as you guessed it, da da da, leaving you split ends, right? So if you don't have something that you can lay on or something to cover your head with to go ahead and keep your hair maintained, then your hair can possibly be getting pulled out, and that's not what we want. Cool. Also, back to maintenance, because this is very important, right? So everything I listed, you could be doing completely correct, and you're just onto it to a T. But if you do not go ahead and figure out what you're missing as a person, then none of this is meaningless, right? You can go a long, luscious hair or whatever, but it still could be falling out, right? Because you're missing something, and your body is taking from your hair, right, and giving it other nutrients to body's parts that you need. Again, not licensed in any way, but it works something to that degree, right? So you have to figure out, hey, am I missing biotin? Am I missing iron? Am I not eating enough vegetables? Am I not eating enough protein? Right? Like, and for my vegan people, there are other protein sources. At least I believe so. I can't name it any off the top of my head. I apologize. But overall, you have to figure out as a person what you are missing if you want your hair to start growing, right? And putting a whole bunch of chemicals in your hair, hoping for the best, and also doing everything to a T, like you need to do everything right. You can't have exceptions to the thing that you want, right? If you want to go for something, you have to go for something 100% completely to what it suits you to be. Now, with that being said, I think this concludes my health talk, right? And just to clarify one more time, me personally, my hair is about down to my back. Everything can cover my eyes, basically. I'm basically like in the shower when my hair is wet. I'm kind of rocking a long bob, that covers my face, my, part of my neck and whatnot. So I hope everybody that listened to this took the time to listen to this and was enjoyable. Truly. And I'm going to try to start doing this a lot more, because I actually do enjoy speaking. So, with that being said, this is your One Healthy Heart. Thank you.